Withdrawn, especially since all the brilliant personalities of the era had disappeared.
He had lost all his greatest enemies, William of Orange, Leopold of Austria. He had no enemies left. He had outlived them. He had lost his greatest men, his generals, his artists, Colbert, Louvois, Mignard, Lebrun, Vauban. They had all disappeared. This was 1715. The 18th century had already begun. Everything was changing around the king. There's a curious document entitled King Louis XIV's Health Journal. It's a daily diary of the king's health, written by his 3 chief doctors throughout his life. First, there was Vallot, during his childhood and the first part of his life. Then Daquin, and Fagon in the last part of his reign. In reading, one realizes that Louis XIV was truly Louis the Sickly. He had many illnesses throughout his life: fevers, migraines, renal colics, discomforts, vertigo. But these doctors were lucky to have an ideal patient with a robust constitution. He got over illnesses. Louis XIV was a force of nature.
Although his usual state was one of illness, his robust constitution helped him get over the worst ailments: bleedings as a baby, smallpox when he was 9, gonorrhea at 17, typhoid fever which nearly killed him and made him lose all his hair at the age of 22, measles at 24, a tapeworm at 32, giving him a terrific appetite. And at 47 years old, he underwent an operation so delicate and impressive that it was named the Great Operation.
Louis XIV's most famous disease, whose curing was the most celebrated, is the fistula he suffered from in 1686.
The king had an anal fistula. This is a type of small duct which was infected between his anus and his colon, and which was very painful.
Félix de Tassy, his chief surgeon, tried to reduce the abscess by all means, but an operation was inevitable.
It took place in Versailles in the king's bedroom, but in utmost secrecy. Certain patients of fistulas at the Versailles hospital were used as guinea pigs. The surgeon practiced on them.
Félix de Tassy created a scalpel with a type of flexible probe to avoid pain. A curved scalpel called à la royale. He introduced the probe and operated. The king underwent the operation without any anesthetics and with a high risk of infection. There was no antiseptic at the time. He dealt with the pain stoically and asked his surgeon to treat him like any other patient, so that his hand would not tremble. The operation was a great success. Louis XIV presided the council soon afterwards, and he rode his horse on March the 4th, which was a sign of complete recovery.